Hello. I was about to say hi and then I went to say hello and it just ended up being hi-lo. So, hi-lo, leaders not lemmings. It's Anna here. How you guys doing? Welcome to the Mindset Mastery training for, I put in January. I kind of called it this month's Mindset Mastery training. And I feel like it's going to be a really, really incredible opportunity in this training to, even set yourself up even further. I know a lot of you are already obviously up and rolling with 2019 and your goals and really making some huge headway, which is incredible. And I feel like this is going to just even elevate that little bit further. It's going to help you with your belief, self-belief. It's going to help you with really understanding how the law of attraction works to a deeper level, because obviously that's what we do in here in this group in Leaders Not Lemmings. I do a lot of training outside of here on the business page and on my personal page and all this kind of stuff, but I really, really do save the best stuff for here for you guys, because I know that it's more of a evolved, as much as I hate this phrase, like awoken kind of community of people who really, you guys really understand this and you understand the value of really working on your personal development and your growth, and you're already ahead of the game in that regard. So these kind of trainings are even more beneficial to you because I don't have to explain so much really. So of the back end stuff, I know you guys already have a really good grasp of that. If you're newer to Leaders Not Lemmings, of course, welcome. I definitely recommend having a look through the announcement posts, because there's some incredible trainings that I've done in the past. There's an abundance challenge that I did in there. There's a throat chakra meditation. There's lots of really cool stuff that you can check out in there to really get more of a feel of what we're all about in here and how much fun we have and how much development we have. So definitely not saying that, if you're newer to here, this won't make sense. It will. But I do love jumping in here and doing this for you guys, because it just, I feel like I get to go even deeper, and it's in that deep work that the transformations really come. So really, really excited to bring you this mindset training today. So as you know, I've talked about over the last few days, this is all going to be about a particular phrase that you hear a lot, which is, seeing is believing. And something that I know for myself, and maybe for you as well. Let me know if this is something that you heard a lot when you were growing up. I heard the phrase, I'll believe it when I see it, right? And that basically, until you prove it to me, until there's concrete proof, I'm not going to believe it. And it was usually used in a sort of way of making kids to do things that they didn't really want to do, because they were like promising, I'm going to clean my room, I'm going to do this. And the parent was like, yeah, right, whatever, I'll believe that when I see it. And it was an offhand kind of thing. But I feel like hearing this over and over and over, it does infiltrate your subconscious, it does infiltrate your mindset, and it does make you start thinking in terms of, well, maybe that is how I'm meant to run my life. Maybe I do need to wait for proof that things are happening, that something is going a certain way in order to believe it. I shouldn't just put my faith in anything. I shouldn't just trust something without proof, without that distinctive and that absolute, concrete proof that it's actually happening. And that's when we start doing things like not trusting our intuition, not trusting our gut instincts, not trusting and having faith in things that we cannot see, because we start to believe that, well, if I can't hold it, if I can't taste it, if I can't touch it, if I can't guarantee that it's right there and it's something physical and I can grab hold of it and prove it, then I'm not going to believe in it. I'm not going to put myself through what, a lot of us have started to assume is pain that comes from, having an expectation, having faith in something, having belief in something, and then having it not come to fruition, and that disappointment that comes from that. So that's what I'm going to be talking about. There's 3 things I'm going to be talking about today. I know I actually pre-planned this, and by pre-planned I mean like I literally just sat for the last 5 minutes and downloaded everything that needs to come through. So I have actually got 3 things that I really, really want to cover. 2 of them are going to be around the mindset shifts and the things that you need to really understand in order to get to a point where this can start changing for you, because until you actually have that, first of all, that inner understanding on a conscious and on a what's the word I'm looking for? On a conscious level, and something that you can understand and you can grasp, until you have that, you're not going to be able to do the deeper transformative work from the inside, because you're just not going to have even the surface level stuff. You're not going to understand why any of this is working and why it's so important. So I'm going to start with the first 2, and then the third thing that I'm going to go through is more so about, how to start implementing this and how to start, now that you've made a choice to move forward in a particular way and to change some beliefs and to start getting more of what you want to manifest into your life, because you're ready to start believing again, how to actually start that happening. So The first thing I'm going to talk about is energy. So this is the really, really important thing to break down why this idea of seeing is believing, and I'll see it when I believe it. I'll believe it when I see it, is just such an absolute hoax, in my opinion. And obviously that's why I'm saying it here, because it's my opinion. It's my group to do what I wish with. So the first thing you need to understand with how anything actually comes to be is that it is all energy. Everything is energy. I'm energy. Everything here, that drawing picture thing behind you, that's all energy. The light switch over there, that's all energy. My fingernails, my hair, everything. This is all just energy. It may look physical. It may look like something that you can grab and hold and prove is there, but in fact, it is all just energy. It is all just molecules buzzing around. And it is all, if you were to look at, on anything on yourself, whether it's a fingernail, whether it's your hair, whatever it is, under a microscope, over and over and over, you would see that it is not actually a solid thing. It is just energy. It is just molecules buzzing around. And so because of that, it means that there is so much space, there is so much air in between, and it means that everything is not actually as solid as you think. So the things that you are seeing, the things that think you are seeing that are physical and that you can therefore believe because you can hold and you can touch and you can smell and you can taste and whatever, they're not really there. They're not really there. It is the representation in your mind of these molecules that is causing them to be seen by you, right? And so that is the first real thing to understand with energy and with how anything is actually formed, is that this isn't a physical thing. It isn't something that you can grab and hold. It is, as much as you can, grab my hand or grab my hair or whatever, it's not actually there. It is actually a bunch of molecules buzzing around together, along with a lot of space, a lot of air, forming into something that you will see and recognize as my hair or my nails or me or whatever it is that you have in front of you, right? But here's the thing. Those molecules, everything that comes to be in the manifestation that you see because of your thoughts, right? Because of how you choose to see it. So if you, one of the most confusing things that you can possibly think of, but it's, the way that it is, if you think of a chair in your dining room or in your kitchen or whatever, that chair does not exist until you choose to see it, until you choose to lay your eyes on it, right? So in the time that you are not actually in the room and there is no intention for that chair to be there for you, that chair does not exist. It is just free-flowing molecules. It materializes and it manifests because you believe without a doubt that you left your house this morning and there's a chair in that kitchen. When you come home, there's going to be a chair in that kitchen. You believe that so deeply because you have no doubt about it that it manifests. It must manifest. Anything that we believe to a complete degree must manifest. That is how energy works. We don't have it, and that's why it seems so real to you that you walk in and the tables or the chairs there and you're like, well, of course it's there. That's where it is. Yes, but it's only actually there because you believe it is, because you see it before you've seen it, you've believed it into being. And so this is the first thing to start slowly wrapping your head around. And I do have a couple of suggestions that if this is a little bit more advanced to what you've kind of thought about before in terms of manifestation or law of attraction, I definitely do have a couple of suggestions of where to start. A Happy Pocket Full of Money is one of the best books that I've ever read for going through all of this process and explaining it there's a lot of scientific stuff that goes into it, obviously, because this isn't just woo-woo, this is actually science. So A Happy Pocket Full of Money is an incredible book that I suggest either getting the audio or getting the book or whatever you want to read. That will really give you an amazing understanding of these concepts that I'm talking about. So that would be my first suggestion, to look deeper into this if this is really throwing you, because this just understanding this and understanding that everything that you actually see in front of you isn't real, really, and that everything is an illusion. Everything that is real is actually within you and what you see, within you and what you believe, and what you see is just a formulation of that, right? And so it's all an illusion based on what you've created. And the sooner you can really start to wrap your head around this, and I'm no expert. Well, I am an expert in some ways, obviously, but not to the degree that I ever want to. Like, I'm still aiming to go higher and higher with this, obviously, always. But definitely this is where I would begin. If I could reread that book again, that would be the one that I would say has definitely implemented this into my mind more and more. So that's the first thing. Understanding how energy works, understanding that what you believe is what will bring something into being. Your thoughts dictate when something materializes, and therefore you have the entire power. You already do, obviously, create your reality exactly as it is. You've created it. Sorry or not sorry, depending, I guess. But you have created it, and therefore you have the ability to create anything else if you wish through your thoughts. Your thoughts are what creates that energy and that intention and the way that things are going to materialize and form into your life, right? So the second thing, I don't want to make this really, really long, because I do actually want you guys to just be able to get through it and start implementing things, right? So the second thing is really talking about, well, why is it that waiting, thinking like, well, yeah, I'll believe it when I see it, and waiting on something to be proven to you, why this is a really, really amazing way to pretty much never get what you want in the long run. Because, occasionally, obviously, surprises will come out of nowhere, or they'll seem to come out of nowhere, when really they just came from your thoughts and from your beliefs that, in fact, did believe that this was going to materialize, even though you kept saying otherwise. And we do that a lot to ourselves, don't we? We tell ourselves something's not possible, but we really know it is, right? And then it manifests and we're like, oh, wow, that's shocking. I always thought that wasn't going to happen. No, deep down, you did know that was going to happen. So the most important thing here to master around why we need to let go of this stupid belief, and this idea that we have to wait until we've seen something to believe it, is to understand that, just much like energy, like the first point I talked about, you are the cause, not the effect. You are the cause, not the effect. So whilst you may look at, for example, your body and it doesn't look the way that you want, or you look at your career or your money situation, it's not the way that you want, or you look at your relationship and it's not the way that you want, you may look at that and think, well, yeah, that's all happened. This is the effect now. I need to deal with this and I need to change this. The truth is that the situation that you've created, you are the cause of it. You are not dealing with the effects of it. You are dealing with the cause of it. And every time that you think that something's happened to you and therefore you need to deal with it out in an outside way, that's when you're ignoring the fact that you are in fact the cause. You are the one that's created this situation. You are the one that's created this lesson for yourself, this opportunity for yourself, whichever way you want to look at it. And that's, all power to you to look at it in a way that empowers you rather than diminishes you and makes you feel like a victim. Rather than that, choose to actually be, you are already in control of your life, but actually choose to see that and choose to move forward in that way. So when you start to realize that you are actually the cause of everything in your life, not the effect, it takes back that power for you to realize, well, okay, so if I am the cause at any moment in time, including right friggin' now, I can decide to move forward, to make some different choices, to take different steps, to reach out to different people, to do different things at any point in time to start shifting that. It doesn't have to be about the doing, it can be about the believing, right? And this is what I'm going to cover in the third point, is the mindset stuff that I would really suggest to implement right from the beginning, on how to actually start shifting this. Because like I said, the energy that creates everything, the energy that creates your world, literally is flowing from you, from your intentions and from your focus constantly. So it doesn't have to be about, that you have to do certain things or have a to-do list and blah, blah, blah. No, your intention is where it starts. Your mindset is where it starts. And what you believe comes into seeing, comes into being. Whereas what you do not believe, your limiting beliefs, the stuff that you don't believe about yourself, well, that comes into being as well. The stuff that you think, oh, I'm not good enough, I'm not pretty enough, I'm not, why would anyone listen to me? I've tried all of these things in the past. There you go. Oop, I think we're back. Okay, that just went off for a moment, but I think we're back. All of those things that you say to yourself, which is literally saying, I'm seeing all of this and therefore I can't believe it, because I can't believe that I could be beautiful. I can't believe that I could be famous. I can't believe that I could be worthy. I can't believe that I could have the body I want, because I've never seen it, right? Because all of my proof, all of the things that I've seen are against that. I've tried diets and it hasn't worked. I've tried my hardest at work and I didn't get promoted, whatever it happens to be, right? You're looking at the effect and you're making your choices based on the effect rather than the cause, and realizing that at any single point in time, you are still the cause and you still get to shift it as quickly or as slowly as you want. And unfortunately, a lot of the time we put ourselves in that position where, yeah, we do kind of shift things very slowly, if ever, because we're so caught up on the effect and so caught up in the situation of blaming things and seeing how the effects haven't worked in the past and using the effect as the reason not to move forward. When really, when we are the cause, we are always in control of changing it at any point in time, right? And so really, really understanding that, you have causability to affect and to change your life. And that starts purely with your intentions, purely with your focus, purely with where you are actually choosing to move forward. is pretty damn empowering, because it means you don't actually have to do things. You don't actually have to, suddenly become someone else or anything like that. It's literally just choosing where to focus and what you believe. And believing, one of the biggest beliefs that you can take on and choose to believe, and this is exactly what I'm going to cover in the third point now, is, choosing to believe that I will believe it because I choose to, and I will believe it. No, you'll see it when you believe it. I'll believe it. I'll believe it when I see it, as opposed to, no, you know what, I'll see it when I believe it. And that is how it actually works. You will see it when you believe it, because it is always cause to effect, not effect to cause. I'm getting myself all muddled up now. It was bound to happen. It was bound to happen. But yes, it's the same thing, right? Believing is the cause. Seeing is the effect. If you believe that, I have to see something, in other words, I have to have the effect in order to understand that I am the cause, you're going to be, like most people, going against the grain, and not going against the grain in a good way, but as in, pushing shit uphill basically for the rest of your life, because you're not going to understand the natural flow of the universe and of how things come to you. Whereas when you start to realize that, well, yeah, cause is believing. Therefore, if I change my beliefs, I will see what I want to see anyway, but that is how it will come to pass. The effect, the seeing, will come to pass based on me, my beliefs, and me being the cause of it, right? So I hope that makes sense, but please let me know if it doesn't, and I may need to do another live stream, but I think I've gotten the point across. I usually do. I just end up getting myself all muddled up instead. So third thing that I want to cover, and so this is where we get into really the how, I guess, in terms of, how do I actually implement this, and how do I start changing this? So obviously having an understanding, and that's why I said, I suggested Happy Pocket Full of Money, to really start to wrap your head more around this, because the more of a deeper understanding that you have of all of this, the easier it's going to be to implement it, and the easier it's going to be for that to shift into your beliefs quite naturally, right? But I guess the easiest thing that I can say in terms of the how is an affirmation. So you guys know I use affirmations all the time. I meditate on them. I say them to myself. I jump around the house dancing if I feel like it to them. But one thing that I probably haven't said before is sometimes when you're trying to shift out of a particular way of thinking that you've had for a very long time, it can feel really unnatural to say. Like, for example, when I was in deep scarcity, physically and mentally, was saying things like, I am abundance, I am wealth. That felt really unnatural to me, and I could feel it, right? And that's why I always say, whenever you have an affirmation that comes through, like sometimes I do readings for people and I have an affirmation that comes through, always feel into it, say it, and feel deeply. Close your eyes if you need to, and feel how that feels for you. Does it feel like you're forcing it? Does it feel like everything within you is screaming, no, 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 I don't believe this? Because that's where the resistance comes up. And that's why sometimes, when we have a lot of resistance to this, because it's something that we just cannot grasp and cannot truly believe just yet, or we're choosing not to, more to the point, to fully grasp and fully implement this yet, we get to that point where we go, well, I'm saying this, I'm saying I am wealth, I am abundance, I am sexy and lean as fuck, I'm whatever it is, but I don't truly believe it. And so it's just kind of, all it is pushing up more resistance within yourself rather than actually moving you forward. So one really powerful way that I choose to set my affirmations when it is something that's outside of where I can feel right now feels really honest and really in integrity with what I'm saying, is to start my affirmation with, rather than I am or I do or I now or whatever it is I choose to believe, and then whatever the affirmation is. So even if, for example, the ones I was saying before, like I am wealth, I am abundance, all of these things, it would be, I now choose to believe that I am wealth. I now choose to believe that I am abundance. I now choose to believe that I am lean and sexy as fuck. And so what this does is it kind of, it puts the control back into your mind, because that's the thing, you are always in control. As much as we might think, oh, okay, emotions, that kind of stuff, that's just there to guide us on what's going on. Your emotions aren't there to control your thoughts, and they're definitely not there to control your actions, right? You are always in direct control of your actions and always in direct control of your thoughts. So despite popular belief, you can actually feel sad and still say, I now choose to believe that I am in deep gratitude. And then you go through and start, a gratitude list of all the things that you have in that moment to lift yourself up out of that emotion, right? But you do actually have that control at all times to choose how you feel, to choose what you are thinking, and therefore that will impact how you feel regardless. But just putting that little spin on your affirmation from going from I am wealth, I am abundance, whatever it is, to I now choose to believe I am wealth, I now choose to believe I am abundance. Putting that little change on it, on the affirmation, makes it something that can sit with you a lot sooner than if you were just trying to kind of force it when you can tell that internally you're not there yet, right? Whereas this, it makes it a choice. It makes it, rather than just, yes, that's it, I am wealth, I am abundance, I am all of this. It's like, no, I'm choosing to believe that I am this. I'm choosing to believe that I have this. I'm choosing to believe that I am worthy of, whatever it is, right? Rather than just, I am worthy of love or whatever it happens to be. I choose to believe I am worthy of love. Feel how that sounds different? Let me know. I'd love to know if you're watching, whether you're watching live or the replay later on. I'd love to know. Can you feel that difference if you just try it with any of your affirmations that you might be doing at the moment? That difference between just, the affirmation itself and then I choose to believe that affirmation. It's a little shift that makes it really, really powerful, puts the control back into your court, back into your hands, into your mindset, to be like, well, guess what? I do get to choose what I believe. I do get to choose what I think. I do get to own my mindset. I don't have to be controlled by it. I get to control it and let it work for me, not let it hinder me, which is, like I said, where, most of the population do end up, where they don't even understand anything about this, which is why I end up doing these kind of more intricate live streams and these trainings in this group rather than just on my personal and business page, because I feel like this is the happy place to be sharing this kind of stuff, because I know that you guys are already more elevated and more awoken to this kind of training. So more of this is going to be implemented, even if it's not on a really conscious level, even if there's stuff that you're watching and you're thinking, I think I get it, but I'm not sure. Your subconscious is picking it up. Your subconscious is picking up what we're going through. And, sometimes it takes one time to hear something. Sometimes it takes 10. Sometimes it takes like 20, 30, 100,000 times to hear something for it to really sink in. But that's okay. That's okay, because we're all here on our own journey. And at the end of the day, if we can just get that one step closer, well, then that's still one step closer than we were. And that's the whole point. We're on a journey. We're not on a, end game where we want to get to somewhere and then, what's the goal? To die? No, we're always on a growth journey. We're always moving forward. And so if it's getting you that one step further along your journey, well, that's exactly what it's meant to do. That's exactly what it's meant to do. So that's it. I don't even know how long this went. I'm hoping it didn't go for too long because, like I said, I really wanted to, keep this kind of short and sharp, give you guys some things to look into, like the Happy Pocket Full of Money, if you haven't read that already. If you have read it and you maybe kind of skimmed it the first time or something, I definitely recommend redoing it. Even listening to it on audio is amazing. And then choosing those affirmations, doing those affirmations a little bit differently. So I'd love to hear, what you think, how you go with it when you're implementing it as well. Please feel free to, pop any comments in here, or you can even reach out to me as well. Send me a private message. Let me know how you're going. And any thoughts that you have, obviously, when you're watching the replay as well, I'd love to hear them. Any questions that you have, I will check back and, see as well, so I can respond to you guys when I have a chance. That's it. I'll leave it there. Hope you have an amazing rest of the day. I'll talk to you really soon. And remember, live life on purpose. Mwah.